A lot of married men like complain if they're honest that their wife doesn't want to have sex with them, right? So I'll tell you why. Because she doesn't respect you. And if a woman doesn't respect this man, she's not turned on by him. So it's kind of different, right? Men can have sex with women they despise. And I'm not like, Andrew Tate. I'm not like, like dating coach to teach you a little technique, teach you manipulations, teach you how to basically fool a woman, to fake an image of alpha male, and to get her into bed, any of that. No. What I'm gonna talk about today will be focused on actually building your character. So you need to become that person, because the true daughter of God can see through BS. So what happened is that you're gonna fool some insecure woman. Number one, I want to say this is what inspired me to record this video, is to be disagreeable. Yes, you heard me right. You heard me right. Be disagreeable. So what that means is not to be argumentative. You don't just everything she brings up, you just disagree with her. That's just gonna make you annoying. So what that means is to stand firm to your ground. So if you know the truth, you know the principle, and she's trying to get her way, don't give in. Don't let her get her way, okay? It doesn't matter what manipulative skill she uses. She can cry, she can complain, she can throw a tantrum. I mean, I'm not saying you should give her any cold violence. We're going to talk about how to, address that situation. I know most guys doesn't want trouble, right? You just want to, whatever. You just want peace. You're not going to have peace. And she will lose respect for you if you always let her get her way. If she is throwing her anger, frustration at you because something happened to her, it's not okay. You need to stay firm to your ground and let her know that what she's doing is unacceptable. So when I was in elementary school, right, I have a teacher, and she's always giving us some assignment that just doesn't make sense. She's always letting us to just hand write the paragraph in the task book, just copy it, handwriting, copy it. If you know what I'm saying, it's just stupid. It's meaningless. It doesn't spark your critical thinking. It didn't help you, to understand what that paragraph mean. So, and it takes a long time. Like I spent 3 hours. I think I just don't want to do this homework. I was like, just miserable. I was about like 8 years old, probably 6 years old, at most 7. So I don't want to do this homework. And my teacher, she make a big deal out of this tiny little thing. Oh, how dare you, to disobey me, that kind of drama. So she invite my dad to her office, and want my dad to discipline me and make sure that I submit my homework on time, And what my dad told her was, you gotta know this. So before I tell you how my dad talked with her, you gotta know this, that in a lot of Asian countries, especially in China, teachers are on a pedestal. So a lot of parents don't dare to confront the teachers, don't dare to call them out, They're like authority. And if teacher, call your parent, that's like a huge thing. You will get bitten by your parent a lot of times. You'll be punished. It's a huge thing. So what happened is that my teacher called my dad over to her office and complained that I didn't submit my homework, and what my dad said was, my daughter knew what she was doing. Why don't you show me the homework you want her to do that she didn't submit it? So I don't know exactly what happened until there's one day my mom went to this parents meeting and she talked with this teacher, and this teacher started complimenting my dad profusely. It's crazy. It's like he is her idol now. And she told my mom, oh, your husband is so handsome. Like, yeah, that's literally the word she used in Chinese. And my mom was surprised, like, you only met her once? I mean, what happened? My dad said, well, I just disagree with her. I just tell her what is the right way, how to teach a kid. And so you see that that's one of the example that when a woman is doing something you know that's clearly BS, call her out. You know, you can tell her gently. So what my dad did with my teacher is like, he just talked with her. It's like, he explained to her, this is not helpful and why, but also respect her as a teacher. So what you're going to do is that you're not going to agree with her in everything. So a lot of male feminists, I don't even know why this kind of type of people exist, but a lot of male feminists, they think if they agree with a woman, if they give women power, women will love them. It's totally the opposite. Women love men who hold firm to their ground. Even if you offend them, at that moment you offend her, later on she will respect you. Okay? So this is point number 1, and it's the most important thing. Now, point number 2 is to hold on to your words. So it's very simple. Just be a man of your word, like God, okay? Hold on to your word. And when you tell somebody you have my word, you need to fulfill it. So when it is said, it is already done. You're going to be like God. This is a godly character. So what happened if you do this is that everything you said, she knew it's going to happen. And when it happened, trust me, you're going to be a hero, okay? Whether that is about, you know, your goal, your ambition, or something you promised her that you're going to do for her. And if you actually make it happen, that's the moment you become her hero. So to expand a little bit on this topic is that as a man, don't talk too much. And I'm not saying if you are a good speaker, because leaders need to talk. That's how they lead. They need to motivate people. They need to bring people together, and that is how they lead, right? So I'm not saying you should be an introvert as a man and be as quiet as possible. Not at all. What I'm saying is like, don't talk, something petty, gossiping. Don't give so much details, like how women talk, right? Women talk with each other about tons of petty things. Oh, this morning I go to the shopping mall and I saw this hat. It was like fluffy and but the color I don't really like it, and I saw another. I don't like the shape. Things like that, okay? Because your words is what build your reputation. Is that when you are a man of your word, so when you talk, people know you have something important to say. And when you say it, it will happen. So this is why God is God, okay? And you are his son. You are made in his image. This is one of the most important things, to be respected, not just by women, but by other men as well, okay? So let's move on. Point number 3 is to get things done. Get it done before you tell her. So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying you can't, bring up your plan to your wife and envision something and then you build a future together. Of course, that's awesome. But there is something like, say, a little trouble here and there. let's say you guys have a conflict with your neighbor and your wife is frustrated about it. You go to your neighbor without her knowing and talk with your neighbor, confront your neighbor directly, and handle this issue. And then when it's done, go back and tell her the result. And if she didn't ask, you don't even need to tell her. If you get things done before you tell her, the effect is gonna be in her mind, she's gonna think, okay, then this guy probably have accomplished so much more than what I know. And that will make her look up to you. So number 4 is to take initiative. By taking initiative, what that means in everything. So when there's confrontation, you address it. Okay, you're not gonna be those weird people that hand your neighbor a lawsuit. You just go there and talk with your neighbor. Okay, do it in a classic way. If your neighbor's dog poop on your lawn, you don't have to hand him a lawsuit. Another thing, take initiative in making peace. So Jesus said that blessed is the peacemaker, for they are the sons of God, right? And when people have argument, hear this: even if you believe she did wrong, you need to take initiative to bring this argument to the table. So what I'm saying is not, point number 1, I always say stand firm to your ground. If she did wrong, she did wrong. She have to admit that. You don't give in just because you don't want conflict. So then how can you take initiative at the same time? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to bring this issue to the table and let her realize that she did wrong. So she is still going to be the one who apologized, but you're going to be the one to initiate it. If that makes sense, okay? Point number 5, this is crucial, is to be good at your work. Not just good, be excellent. So for men, the most important thing is your work. So before God created Eve, he gave Adam work to do. He gave Adam purpose, is to govern, dominate the earth and, rule over all creations. So before women, men already have work. So work is gonna be your most important thing. I'm not saying your family are not important. I'm just saying a man is not gonna be happy when he doesn't have a purpose. A woman is like, she could be happy if she just, be a housewife and take care of her family. She could be happy just like that. But man, even if he has a happy family, if have a shipwreck in his career, that's gonna really damage his confidence and his masculinity. So what I'm saying is that be one of the best in your field, be ambitious, and the most important thing is to have a vision for your future, is that you know where you want it to be. So this is extremely important for guys who are not married. So if you're not married and you have no vision for your future, what is going to happen is that you don't know who to take with you. So you're going to have a vision and you're going to know where to go, and then you will know what kind of woman you want to marry. And you are not going to change your vision for that woman. I mean, you can adjust it. You guys need to work together, right? You're going to find a woman who is willing to follow you. So like Isaac and Rebecca. So if you remember, Abraham sent his servant to find Isaac a wife, right? And Rebecca is the woman who fits all the condition, right? And the most important thing is that she is willing to go to a land that she never been to marry a man she never met. So you need to have your vision, and this woman will align with your vision and she will follow you. So that's very important. If you don't have that, there's no such thing called respect. Not only your woman won't respect you, you guys just gonna be frustrated together, be stuck somewhere, and you don't even know why your relationship is so miserable because you don't have a direction. Point number 6, risk taking. Adventurous, ambitious. So what do I mean by taking risk? I'm not saying to do stupid things. By risk taking, I mean to take necessary risk in order to get a desired result. It's like start a business, invest in something, relocate to another place, after thorough consideration and research, of course. What I'm saying is that you need to be able to take risks. You might bring something up and your wife might freak out because she is in her comfort zone, and most women want stability, right? She's gonna freak out at the beginning. But remember, you take the lead, you take the wheel, and let her help you, because you might get the direction right, but how to get there, there's a lot of details there, and you need a helper. You need a woman to help you and to make it happen. So you will need to convince her. And now the whole point is you need to have the ability and the courage to take risk, because there's no good thing in this life that you can get without risk taking, especially if you're a son of God, because a lot of things that God wants you to do is totally out of your mind. It's crazy to everyone else. Nobody's going to understand you. Okay? If it's understandable, then it's probably your human reasoning. A lot of the time, God would tell you to do something that is just risky. Okay? So point number 7, this is also very important. It is something that a lot of you will be interested. So point number 7 is to lead other men. When I say lead other men, I mean raise them up, serve them, help other brothers, build your brotherhood, build your tribes. So this one, I want to give you an example. Learn from Jesus. Jesus is from Nazareth. That's like a ghetto in Israel. And this man has nothing. And he built so many followers. And 12 of them follow him to the end, right? I mean, Judas betrayed him. But, men sometimes judge how desirable a woman is by how many men desire her, right? And women, likewise, judge how respective and how much they will respect this man by how other men respect him. Like, you need brothers to do this Christian life. You can't do it alone, and you can't do it just by the help of your woman. You need other men, other godly men, especially when you guys gonna face lust, right? You need other men to help you conquer lust. You need other men who are down with this pornography, fornication, masturbation thing. You guys need to stand together. And if you didn't find an existing community, a brotherhood that's like-minded guys to join, build your own. Build your own tribe. So don't complain, I don't like the guys in my church. You can build your own. Online, offline, depends on you. You need to build your own tribe. Okay, so point number 8 is be forgiving, but has boundaries. So what I'm saying here, being forgiving is, God's commandment. We need to forgive others, no matter what they do. Because if only we forgive them, our Father in heaven will forgive us. But remember this, forgiving is not reconciliation. It's like you're still holding on to that thing. And people can see it. People can see that bitterness, that grudge you are holding. So this is my, a special note to brother who, is in the red pill community or was in the red pill community. Don't be those bitter beta male, okay? Move on. Forgive the woman who hurt you in the past. If you don't forgive them, God is not gonna give you his daughter. You know that scripture is like, if you being evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give you? So if an earthly father, a biological father, is so protective of his daughter, imagine how much more protective God is to his own daughter. So if you can't move on, you're too small, that you are holding on to this grudge, this past hurt, you will miss God's plan for you. You will miss the promise he has for you. Point number 9, self-control, discipline, especially your self-control in your sex drive. So I actually should probably make a video about it, but I just want to briefly bring this up. So every man, I would say most men struggle with lust. I don't care if you're married and if you're not. And brothers, listen, there's a reason that God didn't take this thing away from you. There is a reason. And also for sister, especially if you're married, you can forgive your husband for watching pornography, and he told you and you shamed him, you berated him. Now just hear me out. God didn't take this away from men because the sex drive is not for you to sin. It's not for you to squander. It's for you to control and put that energy into your purpose. In Proverbs 31 at the beginning, I think that is the mother's teaching to his son who is a king. And she said that don't give your strength to strange woman. What does that mean? Strength. So your sex energy is your strength. Do you remember Samson? I don't know if I pronounce it right. Samson, the man who got his most expensive haircut by Delilah, right? So Samson is a guy who didn't conquer his lust at all for all his life. And he lose his strength. And his strength is his biggest power. He can fight a lion barehanded. So the whole Bible is telling you strength. That if a man is indulged in lust, you're not going very far in life. Okay? You're not gonna go very far in life if you cannot conquer this thing. So self-control, discipline, is what make a woman respect you. Because from my own observation, most women are not very disciplined. So that's why women respect men who are disciplined, who, when they set their mind to do something, they do it. They stick to their schedule. They go to the gym every day, even when they don't want it, when they don't feel like it, they show up. So that is what make a woman truly respect you. It's not manipulative skill. It's not faking a persona. You have to be that person. Because you can only fool foolish women. You can only fool insecure women. And those women will give you a lot of trouble if you do end up with her. Number 10. Now this one is interesting. Is to be privileged. I know, right? I'm not saying to have a sense of privilege. I'm saying to be privilege. Now I'll give you an example. Jesus Christ. Do you guys remember before he entered Jerusalem, right? He told his disciple to go to this town and take the donkey and just tell the donkey owner the Lord has needs of it. I love that. Did you realize what he's doing? He just walk around and know that he owned everything, because God owns everything. So he got this privilege. If you're a businessman, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Never take the first offer. So let's say, I'll give you an example. A lot of gym, have this initiation fee, it's annual fee, it's all kinds of BS on top of the first month membership fee, right? And there are also a lot of places that, your landlord is going to charge you 1 month deposit, 2 month deposit, something like that. And there are all kinds of those bureaucratic stuff, those rules, those fees, that if you know how to negotiate, you don't have to pay it. You heard me right? You know why people just accept every terms and conditions that other people bring it to them? Okay, I need to pay this fee, this fee, this fee. And in your mind, all of those are BS. But you just pay it. Why? Because it's convenient. Because you don't want to confront them. You don't want to bring this up. You don't want to negotiate with those people. It makes you uncomfortable. It's out of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? So you need to bring it up. It's not like everything that people throw at you, you're going to take it. You need to negotiate. If you know this is BS, negotiate your way out. So this is what will, make a woman respect you. And this is not something you can fake. You have to have this ability. You have to build it. You have to train. So maybe today you're going to negotiate not to pay your gym initiation fee, not to pay the deposit. And in the future, you're going to negotiate about, the down payment of a property, or you're going to negotiate with your business investor. So it's a skill to build. And so nothing I'm saying, it's like all those dating coach taught you, or you can immediately apply. You need to be that person. Point number 11 is to have high self-esteem. Again, this is not something, okay, I write it down. Tomorrow I'm going to pretend to have high self-esteem. You can't. High self-esteem comes from you are secure in your identity. You know who you are. And it's not attached to your achievement. It's not attached to your performance. So I just post an article on my Substack newsletter. Make sure you check it out. And the name is "A Wife is a Crown, Not a Trophy." So in that article, I talk about, achieve from your identity. Achieve from who you are. Don't achieve to prove who you are. So I don't care what is your background. You can't be worse than Jesus Christ. He is the Son of God. But on the earth, nobody knows he is the Son of God. People just see him from a ghetto, a poor preacher from a ghetto. But because he is so secure in his true identity of the Son of God, people follow him. Okay, I think the last few points, I'm just going to bring it together. Number 1 is to embrace isolation. So as a man, if you cannot be comfortable in your solitude, in your isolation, you're in big trouble. You need to embrace isolation. You need to be able to be alone. You need to be able to face who you are. right? And another point is that if you want a woman to respect you, respect her. So respect her doesn't mean to let her get her way each time. It's actually the contrary, because you let her get her way, you don't really doing her any good. She needs to know the truth. She needs to, become a better person. By respecting her, I mean you need to help her become a better woman. And that could mean you might offend her, you might have to disagree with her, you might have to face, some conflict. Okay, so that is respect her. And also, very importantly, respect her in the public. Don't flirt with other women. And when you guys are in public, make sure when she need to speak with you, you listen to her instead of, busy making impressions on the strangers. I think this is my last point. It's very simple. Being protective. Don't let her do something that will damage her femininity. What would damage a woman's femininity? To handle a conflict that is in public. Let's say you guys are eating out in a restaurant and she has a problem with her dish. You're gonna be the one to call the waiter over and communicate about the issues. You're not gonna let her throw her frustration at a waiter, but you're gonna handle this thing gracefully for her. You're gonna be the one to, not just to pay the bill for the dinner, but also be the one to communicate with the waiter more. And the last thing I want to bring up, this is a little bonus, is to make eye contact. So make eye contact. This is probably the only thing you can take away today that you can apply it right away, is to be firm in your eye contact. And if you want to know how to do it, go watch The Godfather and watch Michael Corleone, how he look at everybody. So don't go to that extreme, but it will give you a good idea about making eye contact and command respect from other people. So this is my video today. I inclined to make the video on YouTube more entertaining. So don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Until next time, God bless you. Peace.